What it do, man? It's your boy Battle Truth coming to you live and direct from the Battle Truth headquarters. Let's get right off into this, man. So everybody are waiting for Monday for Surf to appear before the judge once again to see the seriousness of his charges. Again, just looking bad for Surf, man. I think we really gonna get a great understanding of what's all taking place this week. Okay. Again, so far he only got two charges: the RICO and the felon with possession of a firearm. Maximum of 30 years between them both. Um. So when he appeared in court this week, we also got some people that's gonna be there too. We got some people that's gonna be there. That's gonna be covering it. Also, we got some other things too. We gonna get together too. But we got some people who gonna be there, who gonna be covering it and things like that. But also, he going for his bond hearing to see if he eligible for bond. And again, it's not looking too good for him. I don't believe he's going to get bond. I believe his bond going to be denied as a result of him, how he was arrested. He barricaded himself. He tried to get away and escape. He wasn't able to escape. So he barricaded himself in, and a negotiator was called to the scene. According to his manager, he was listening to the negotiator actually telling them, hey, come out or we coming in. This your last warning, you know. So he definitely basically showed resistance. And all this matters when you're going up for bond. And the district attorney is definitely going to bring this up when arguing against him not getting a bond. He or she going to let it be known this person should not be bonded out, not only for the seriousness of the crime that is being that he's being accused of and charged with, but also as a result of him absconding justice for over 2 weeks, and how he barricaded himself in and he tried to flee. They definitely gonna bring that up. And I'm telling you, all those things against him, like I say, this not looking too well. This ain't looking too well for Surf, man, at all. You could look. I keep telling people you could only look at this as a learning tool. It's so much to learn from in this situation. So much to learn from how to move, the things not to do, the things not to say, the things not to tie yourself into, the things you should appreciate and value. There's so much to learn from in this situation. Are you learning from it? I'm talking about, are you learning from it? Like the good things about it. Whether you knew him or not, it's so much to learn from when you're seeing it playing out right before your very eyes. Literally. To appreciate and value life and your family and friends and loved ones that you have right now with you, not knowing tomorrow ain't promised to nobody. What about the lesson in that? And understanding that as a man, you must put childish things away and learn how to be a stand-up person with integrity and morality to the point that you stand on things that you know to be true. That you don't put the streets before your family, before the man and woman that you love, before your children. And that you set your mind on better things. That you don't take clean money and turn it into dirty money. Like so many people do. You got illegal income coming in, but that fast money people trying to pull you into, and the streets trying to pull you into, you allowing yourself to have 1 foot in, 1 foot out. According to Surf, he said that before he left. Can't have one foot in, one foot out. You cannot be a family man. You can't be a father. You can't be a husband. You can't be a family man in the streets at the same time. You can't do them both. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, you can't. Because it's gonna follow you home. I don't care what you say, it's gonna follow you home. You got a wife and you got a woman and you out there messing around, trouble gonna come knocking at your door. No matter how much you try to separate the two from one another. It's called sin. You can't put a restraint on sin. I'm sorry. Sin don't have no rules. Sin don't have no rules. You either conquer it or it conquers you. Thinking you're going to contain it, thinking it's going to abide by the rules, and you got nothing coming. There is no rules to the game, which is sin. Everybody play by different rules. The working man play by a different rule than a crackhead who try to make his hustle off the working man. The dope dealer play by a different rule who make his money off the crackhead. The stick-up man play by a different rule who make his money off the dope man. The police play a different rule who make his living off all the above. There is no rules to the game. Sin is sin. Simple as that. You learn from people's mistakes, watching how they fail to know how not to follow those same footsteps. So everybody that's in games now, and y'all seeing all these brothers all over the country getting RICO lawed and getting indicted and being slaughtered, that should wake y'all up. That should wake y'all up. How long you gonna keep being fools because of pride and arrogance and because you want to belong and want a piece of the pie? You never get to enjoy the whole thing. Yeah, it tastes good in the beginning. You'll never get to finish it. You cannot make a career out of sin. I'm sorry. It's 100% successful and literally killing and incarceration and destruction for those who try to make a career out of it. It's 100% successful. 10 out of 10 all fail. 10 out of 10 all fail. Who want to play by those odds? Those the odds you want to play by? And you know what's crazy? We know those odds and still play because we believe we can change the odds. Ain't that stupid? That's what we do, though. That's what we do. Before Surf left, he said he broke his daughter's heart. And I'm keeping it real, man. I sympathize for that little girl, man. That's who I really care about. I care his situation too, to some degree. But I know as a father how that feel, man. Y'all know how I feel about kids, man. Y'all know how I am with my daughter. You know, right here. That's my heart, man. I hate to see her cry. I'm talking about, I can't even recall 4 times out of her life, besides her being a baby, a newborn baby, that she cried. I hate to see her cry. I hate to see her seem like she troubled or upset. I'm always, you okay? You all right? She like, yeah, daddy. I hate that. That's his only child, man. I know how that little girl feeling. That's why I always was telling Sir over and over again. I know he was watching because he'd bring it up sometimes. Like, bro, what about your child? You did this twice. You gotta cut friends off. You gotta cut them off. I don't care how much they gang. No. I'm sorry. I know he's thinking about that now. Wish he could have yesterday back. That's how I was feeling when I was locked up. I wish I could go back and do it all over again. I'd change everything. I couldn't. So what was next for me to do? Change right now? Change right now. I knew that for me. If I wasn't willing to change right now, I wasn't going to change at all. I didn't know where to begin, but I knew what I had to do. And then God began to work on my heart and show me. And then I began to correct myself, like, what have I been running from my whole life? And the answer was God. I tried and did everything my own way. And it was God. I believed in a lie that was told me. Oh, if you're scared, go to church. Don't nobody go to church but scared people. That's not true. The people who go to church is the people who not afraid no more. They tired of running. They won't change. They're not afraid to change. They understand God is real. They can't afford to keep losing. They can't afford to keep repeating the same mistakes. So you come to a point where you're not afraid no more. After being broken so many times. After being disappointed and failing so many times. And then what happens? I'm tired of running from God. I need to run to God. It's the same thing Adam and Eve them did in the garden. They started out in a loving relationship with God, in perfect, beautiful fellowship and complete harmony. Once rebellion and sin came in play as a result of their actions and God being good to them, they ran from God. And in running from God, things got worse for them. And it wasn't until he went and go look after, he went and go look for them. He went and go look for them. Because he knew something was wrong. And when he found them, he restored the relationship, but it was different now. Same thing with us. The enemy programmed our mind to believe coming to God, we could continue to hold it off while it continued to give him power over us, where we defeated it. You know how God compared us to the devil? The Bible called us sheep. The Bible called him a lion. Okay, well, put a sheep and a lion in a cage, and what you think gonna happen? The sheep is one of the most harmless animals in the animal kingdom. In other words, what is God letting us see? We don't stand a chance against the devil at all. Jesus is called the shepherd. The lion feared the shepherd. It's the lion that's destroyed by the shepherd who protects the flock from the lion, from the wolf, from the bear. See the difference? In him we protected. In him we are secure. In him we have direction. The enemy know that. So all these distractions he throw at us to keep us from understanding and coming to the knowledge of that. And as long as we hold it off, we steady lose. Your finances, your health, your family, your children, the woman or man you love. Because Satan is in power when God is not in your life. So much to learn from in this situation, and so many situations like it. I believe the people who honestly really change is those who tired of losing, and can't afford to give up anything else. What are you willing to give up in order for you to come to this knowledge of the truth? Who are you willing to sacrifice? Your child? Your health? Your family? Your freedom? What is it that you're going to have to sacrifice in order for you to come to this truth? It's the cowards who run from God. See, it's the opposite. It ain't if you're scared, go to church. It's the strong that go to church, that have a relationship with God, who not afraid of him. It's the cowards who run from it. And they paint this picture of all this stuff that's bad about the church, or so-called said about the church, to justify them not going, to justify them not belonging and being a part of it. But the fact of the matter is, they the cowards, because they are afraid of change. They're afraid to turn. They're afraid of doing the right thing. And they're afraid to get to know who God is. So as Serge get ready to go prepare for bond, the thing going through his mind now, he's just reminded of where he went wrong. And where he went wrong at is where everyone go wrong at. Denying God.